we are witnessing slow death of romance together. And it has never been this generative before. Nowadays, people would just trying to look for the best good looking guy or girl, and just that's it. They no longer want to look for personality or connection anymore. Just that if you're good looking, then I'm gonna be with you, because if I post you on social media, I'm gonna get, praised and likes and comments. People are gonna like me more and more. But if I'm being with you, and I'm gonna feel humiliated because you're not good looking, even though you're a good person. So, you know, many people who try to build themselves up, trying to be a better person, they kind of have no place to stay in this generation anymore. And eventually they have to accept that they might be single forever, since it is almost impossible to find a good person who would be compatible, loving, and just want genuine connection with you, not just, want to sleep around or want to take advantage of you. It is almost impossible, right? And the pursuit of immediate pleasure has supplanted patience and courtship. Like, literally, when you date someone nowadays, they would just want to do everything with you. Like, in the first week, they want to have sex with you. They don't want to wait. They just like want to maximize pleasure, gain experience, because to them it's just like life maxing. But you just want to date someone for life, to marry and to have family. If you were to do that, it would just you you did something that doesn't align with your value, and you just can't stand that. So as a result, you just you would rather stay single forever rather than sleeping around and feeling horrible with yourself forever, right? It is not worth it at all when you think about it. And another thing is that emotional detachment, vulnerability is increasingly perceived as a liable rather than a virtue, right? Because if you have like, you can't be vulnerable with anyone anymore, because they are going to take an advantage of you, when you tell them that, you have like this going on with you, and it's really hard for you to like deal with yourself. But then once you have an argument with them, right, they are going to attack your vulnerability. So your vulnerability is being used against you. So now you're scared that, you know, you are going to have that kind of experience again. So you kind of distant yourself from everyone, and you no longer search for anything. You don't want to open up for anyone anymore. Like, it is really hard with everything. And another thing is that hyper individualism. This one is one of the most um like popular nowadays. Like, literally, I have seen so many couples, right, that, for example, A and B, right? Like, A would want to maximize or prioritize like A's happiness first. For example, it said that today I'm going to do this activity you can do with me. And B says that, like, okay, if I do this activity with you, can we do my activity tomorrow? The type of like hyper individualistic person would be like, no, if like I'm gonna do what I want. A would say like this: I would do what I want, and if you don't want to deal with me, then up to you. Like, this type of people, they don't want to sacrifice anything for the relationship. It is like, if you don't adapt for me, then you can fuck off, right? So, like, bro, like, relationship doesn't work like that. You get what I mean? There would be some times where you have to inconvenience yourself to help your partner, right? Whatever that you're doing, you might have to leave it. Because, like, otherwise, why would you be in like a relationship in the first place, right? It doesn't make sense. And that's why I just don't like modern value so much. It sucks when you think about it. And many people, they like good people most of the time, they become disposable, because they they are like type of like nice guy, nice girls, and they would be mistreated really often, and people would just take advantage of that because they know that these type of people, they're good, they're not gonna leave you, right? So it really sucks. People are abandoned at their first inconvenience because alternatives are perpetually accessible, right? Because these good people, um they would do whatever it takes to stay in a relationship, but the other person, he or she knows that, you know, he can find anyone anytime if he wants to. So if this good girl like doesn't try to keep up, then she's going to be replaced, right? It sucks, but man, this is how our modern dating like is nowadays. It sucks, but we just can't do anything with it. And it has become increasingly transactional, obviously, right? Because affection is measured by utility instead of unconditional appreciation. People no longer love their partner for who they are. They love them because, their partner has something to offer. I feel like, literally, like, for example, right? If your partner is a good person, is a hardworking and trying to better himself, like, I don't think that should be a reason that you should break up with him. Like, he might not be um affluent, but if he's caring, he's always there for you, you know, and he just loves you with everything he has. I think that should be enough, right? Because I understand that he might not be able to afford a nice dinner for you, but at least, right? Just I don't think people should do it like that. Like seriously, I have seen a couple on social media, where the girl says that my birthday is coming soon, and if you don't take me to Paris, I'm not gonna be with you. And the guy said that like, bro, but that's like my whole saving. And she said that like she doesn't care. And then they have like a huge argument there, like, bro, I don't know what to do anymore. Like nowadays, like I don't think I would find love if this would continue. It is really hard. Another thing is cynicism toward love, because many people, including me, they have disappointments, and those past disappointments, they foster skepticism that inhibits future intimacy, right? That's why they don't want to open up or be vulnerable to their new partner anymore, because they're afraid that their vulnerability will be weaponized again. So, damn man, they would be cynical with everything. They're afraid that their partner would be cheating whatsoever. And in fact, it is rational, because they just don't want their negative past experience to reoccur. Nobody wants that, right? And nowadays, you would never know. Literally, you would never know what they do behind your back, what they think about you, right? And it sucks, man. Like, we just can't do anything with it, you know, besides trying to better ourselves and wish that one day we would find a like-minded person, a person who would love you with all their heart and just care about you for who you are, not what you have or, you know, what you can do, right? I think that is pretty much overall, modern dating sucks, and I don't want to date anymore if it means that I have to be involved in hookup or cheating or like open relationship like culture. Hell no, I would rather stay single and just trying to better myself, because I can be happy on my own. But of course, it would be really phenomenal if I were to have someone who would support me all the way, and I would support her all the way too. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. And if you resonate with it, you can comment down below. It really sucks nowadays. So be careful, guys. See you in the next video. Thank you.